Now, if we can get a better vantage point, then maybe we can...
I can't believe you washed your car.
I haven't lost it. I just can't find it.
Whatever. I wonder if you should go find out how automobiles are made, and I'll go find your car.
That's a deal. Man, I hope she can find the car. In the meantime, this is BMW. I wonder if they make cars in there. Let's find out.
Say, aren't you DV from I Wonder?
Yeah, I sure am.
How you doing? Pleasure to meet you. I've seen some of your programs.
Well, thanks. Thanks a lot. I was just trying to figure out how you guys got this car up on the wall.
Actually, it's a display. It's a display of a previous model we used to build here at Plant 10.
Oh, okay. So what kind of cars do you make now?
Currently, we build the Z4 and the X5.
Do you think you could show me how you make, say, the Z4?
Yeah, definitely. We can focus on the Z4. But before we head that way, I got to give you some safety apparel because I don't want you getting injured while we're out here in the process.
All right. All right, well, okay. I'll follow you.
Let's go.
Cool. Oh, cool. These are robots, huh?
You're exactly right, DV. We have about 80 robots in total in this body shop. What you see here is these robots are doing a couple different applications. In most applications, they're doing welding, what we call spot welding or resistance welding, where they have a gun mounted on the robot. In other hands, it has a handling device where it's moving parts from station to station.
Okay. So about how many parts go into making up an automobile?
In total parts, we have about 225 parts that we receive from our local suppliers. In these particular area that we're looking at, this is an example of one area that we call subassembly.
Okay.
There's 3 subassembly areas. In those 3 subassembly areas, about 75% of those parts come into play in those 3 areas.
What exactly is going on in here?
DV, what I'd like to show you here is an example of the finished product of one of those 3 main subassemblies that I referred to.
Okay.
As you see down here, we have 3 large components coming together right here to form what we call the motor compartment. And then you see the final product exiting the line over there. One thing to highlight here is you'll notice the robot's doing welding and you'll see the operators doing some welding. And this is important. This is what we're all about in Body in White, the dimensional and the structural integrity of our product. This is one of 3 subassemblies, which is later going to be welded together to become what we call the underbody.
How do the parts get to this part of the assembly process?
Those 3 subassemblies get transferred from an overhead conveyor. When they're in that conveyor, they're not attached to each other. They're still 3 individual identities.
Okay.
And in this station here, those 3 components become one component and form what we call an underbody, or what some people outside the automotive industry call a chassis.
Okay. So now it's really starting to take shape and actually look like an automobile.
It's definitely starting to take shape. There's only one more critical process we're going to look at, a large component that we add to it, and I'll be happy to show you that as well.
I'll follow you.
DV, this is really where we complete what we call the frame body.
Okay.
So we just came from the underbody process. Here we're taking side frame inner and outers, and welding them to the underbody. Most common body shops call this the heart of the body shop.
Okay.
Keep in mind we're building a convertible. If we were building a car that had a roof line and 2 doors or 4 doors, it'd be a little more visible to the common eye.
Okay.
But one noticeable difference when you'll see when we come out of this process is you will notice we have a full frame windshield header now.
Okay.
That's the easiest way to determine that we have a frame body now. Now the only thing missing from this point is putting on the doors, the hood, the trunk lid, and shipping it to paint. Well, DV, we came from where we made the frame body. Now we come over here and we're putting on what we call the closure panels.
Okay, so you just mean the outside of the car?
Exactly, the outside of the car. We place the panels on the car, setting the dimensional flushness and gaps per the standards. And here we see an associate gloving the car looking for surface imperfections.
Really, they're running their hands over it?
They do it by a feel of touch. This is the last process that we in Body in White have responsibility for. So it's important that we get the body in the standard specification that it needs to be in before we send it to what we call our internal customer paint shop. You should go over and see somebody from the paint shop, and I'm sure they'll be happy to show you their processes.
Well, I appreciate you taking your time out to show me this process.
Appreciate it, DV.
We'll see you.
Thank you.
go see them painting some cars.
Hi.
Oh, hi.
Hi, may I help you?
Yeah, my name's DV, and I'm kind of taking a tour of your plant here, and I just came from the body shop. What's going on in here?
Well, actually, this car just came from the body shop, and it came from our pre-treatment area in the paint shop, and it's actually going through our E-coat phosphate tank.
Now,
and
what is E-coat?
Well, it's a lead-free, phosphate is like a paint material, and the car is totally submerged into this 55,000 gallon tank for protection.
So after this, what happens?
We go to the sealer deck.
Well, do you think I could take a look at that?
Sure.
All right, I'll follow you.
Okay.
The car looks a lot different now. Is that because of the E-coat?
Yeah, this is what it looks like after it comes out of the E-coat tank.
Okay, and what are these folks putting on here right now?
They're applying a PVC. It's a liquid plastic protectant. And what it does is it seals the seams in the body of the car.
Right.
And they apply that to the interior of the body of the car. And then after that, we're on to the E-coat sand deck. Follow me.
All right. So why is it important for them to sand this E-coat before it's primed?
Well, actually, the E-coat sand is the last process before the color primer is applied. And any dirt, contamination, fiber, or anything that is left on the vehicle will show up in the color primer. So we have to remove it here.
Wow. This is where the cars get painted?
Well, actually, this is primer application. Primer is being applied to the interior of the body of the Z4.
Okay, but these are robots that are doing all the work in here.
Yes, the robots actually open and close the doors, the hoods, and the deck lid of the Z4, and they prime every color that's exposed to the interior body of the car.
Cool. So after the interior of the car gets painted, then what happens?
Well, it's on to the esters, and that's where the exterior of the body of the car is painted. Then on through this process, back out the primer sanding area, and that process is similar to the E-coat sanding process, except the body's inspected, the primer's inspected during that process.
Okay, so then after it gets sanded again, then what happens to
And
it?
then it's back into the clean room for the base coat operation where that's applied. This is the base coat being applied to the exterior of the body of the Z4. This process is a little different than primer in that the esters spray the exterior of the body of the car, and then the robots come in and they take care of the interior.
Okay, so the base coat is what we think of when we think of the color of the actual car.
Right, the actual color of the body of the car being applied.
Okay, so after this base coat goes on, then what happens to
And
it?
then a clear coat is applied to the body of the car. It's clear and it shines, and it also protects the paint body, the paint on the body of the car.
Okay, so then I guess the paint has to dry.
It does, and it actually goes into a 500 plus degree oven where it's baked, and then onto the inspection area after that.
Okay, well, do you think we can see the inspection area?
Sure.
All right.
Okay.
This is a really cool place. What is it?
This is top coat inspection, and here they're inspecting the exterior body of the car, the clear coat, and they inspect it for sags, defects, anything that might interfere with the appearance of the body of the car.
Okay. So after it's inspected, I guess then you got to start putting some stuff on it.
Oh yes, and that's taking place in assembly.
You think there's somebody there that'll talk to me?
Yes, I'm sure there will. They'll be glad to help you.
Okay. Well, I really appreciate your help.
Okay.
Thanks so much.
Before you go, you need to get your paint suit back, DB.
Okay, I'll remember.
Okay.
Thanks a lot. Oh, no, I think I might be a little lost here. I'm not sure where exactly I am in the plant. Let me see if this guy right